guys, we got a good episode for you today. We're going to review Free Guy. We're going to talk about What If Episode 2 and Kevin Feige news. More Kevin Feige news, actually, about the Spider-Man trailer. That to come. Now, Bryan, play the intro! From 1920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, in the heart of Uptown Whittier, Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 61. I'm Rene.
I'm Nick.
This is Bryan.
And welcome to the show, everyone.
Woo! Issue 61.
Past our 60s now.
8 episodes away, baby.
Well past our 60s.
Hey, so what are we?
What are we doing for episode 16 or issue 69?
Oh my god.
Is it not an orgy? Wait,
Not on camera.
That's how we start. That's how we're starting this issue, boys.
it's like I thought it was.
Ladies
I thought
and gents.
I thought it was basically just gonna be like a human centipede.
The South Park episode.
Oh, God.
Honestly, when people say the Human Centipede now, I don't think of the movie. I think of the
You do
South
South
Park
Park
episode.
episode?
Yeah, no, that's how they do it.
I
It's
didn't
that
read the
episode.
trailer.
I forgot to tell you. The documentary is about the creation of that episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. So watch it when you
The
get
Human
the chance.
Centipede episode.
Yeah.
Is it the human centipede episode?
That's the Human Centipede.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Dang.
That's the one they literally just like
In a week.
In a week.
just got it done.
Technically,
in a
like
week.
5 days.
Okay.
No, it was more like 2. It's more like 2. Because because they messed around for like 2 days, then they had like an idea, and then like within like the last like 2 days before it was supposed to air, they scrapped everything and came up with something new.
They didn't technically scrap it, the studio, because they...
I think they said that what they were thinking of originally just like we couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like we just can't do it.
So it's funny. Like, I know we talked about it a couple issues ago, but you haven't seen it yet.
No.
So it's funny because you see it from the perspective of everyone. So like the writers, the animators, the editors.
Yeah.
And then there's this one lady who's in charge of like communicating between the studio and
Yeah.
Comedy Central.
Doesn't she have to like list off all the offensive things
the
that are going to be
offensive
on the
things.
episode?
So she's literally has a list, and she's on the phone just saying a bunch of childish
like-
crap to the studios.
Like, yeah, we got this. They did it. I know. Like, yes, that's really on this
Yes,
episode.
he eats poop the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah,
Yes.
like and she's like, oh yes, the boys are going to eat poop in this episode.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to force.
Not willingly. They're sewed together.
No, they're sewed together, and Stan's going to have to eat
Yeah.
poop
Yeah.
while powering an iPad.
No, it's actually from a horror movie. Yeah, I know. I don't know what it is. It's something centipede. Like,
I don't know.
Watch it when you get the chance.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Watch
fun.
it when you get
It's
the
fun.
chance.
It's fun. It's a good episode and
All
a
right.
good
Definitely.
docu.
So I'm gonna kickstart this issue with a little thing that I forgot to mention it because I saw it about 2 weeks ago, but it's on the group chat now. If you don't mind pulling it up real quick. So there's this TikTok. I was scrolling through the TikTok.
Dude,
first.
you know how many TikToks you both add to that group chat?
A lot.
It's impossible to keep track.
I
of
don't
which
add
one
as
you
much
would
as Rene. I feel like
hey,
Rene just
sometimes
bombards.
I was watching. I was catching up on Renee's TikToks last night.
Oh, I have like 300. I checked it like
I-
online.
the personal ones that I
Yeah,
send
the
you.
personal
I know.
ones.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
only-
good.
I have like 41 like left to
Fine.
catch up
I mean,
on.
I don't like scroll through them yet because I'm just like, okay, I'm like, dude, I got so much on my mind.
I know.
And I'm just like, okay, I'll like when I get to it, I'll get to it.
Yeah. No,
it's a
that's
personal
completely
TikTok library.
No, because usually I do it on the weekends. Like I
Uh-huh.
try to catch up on TikTok because knowing me, if I'm on TikTok, like I'll watch whatever Renee or a buddy of mine sends me, and then I go down the rabbit hole,
Yeah, and then you're
and,
gone.
and I'm on it for like 4 hours.
That's how I get. That's why I get those TikTok just like spurs when
like just spurts.
yeah
of,
when that's when I'm sending messages like every like 2 or 3 minutes of TikTok messages.
Yeah. Right.
That's me trapped in TikTok. Like,
Sometimes I get them at like 2 in the morning.
Call for helps. Like message me and get me up.
Sometimes I get like TikToks at like 1 in the morning, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you still up? Okay, I get you.
No,
but,
that's
like,
not.
seriously.
I sent a TikTok one time to a buddy of mine at like 4:00 in the morning.
yeah.
And he responded back.
You've done that. You've sent
I
them
think
at
so,
like
yeah.
early in the
Yeah.
mornings as
Yeah.
well.
He said,
I'll wake up like around like 5, and I'm just like,
I sent one at 4:00, but I had been sending them since 1 a.m.
So-
like, I would like he can see how long I've been on
Yeah,
TikTok,
uh-huh.
and like literally the only message I got back from him was go to bed. Like, I was
So
just like,
to reference a little background on this TikTok before Rene plays it on the audio.
the
So
mic right
I
here.
was in my TikTok trend the For You page has kind of gone from like video games to dogs to animal facts to pool cleaning to back to like
cleaning?
nerdy stuff. Oh yeah, pool cleaning TikTok was badass. It was
No,
great.
I got into whenever
I
you
had a
see
couple.
like a street flood,
yeah.
and they clean the. I was stuck on that TikTok.
Pool
for a little
cleaning
bit. Pool-
TikTok
yeah.
is awesome.
on-
Anyway, so I'm
I'm
back
on-
on nerd TikTok, and about 2 weeks ago, I ran into these group of people. I don't. Who are
You
they?
want to say? You want to say who
Do
they
we
are?
do we want to give them credit because these guys are idiots? I'm sorry. Like I
We'll
don't
say
care.
off the bat that we don't really
No, they're
care
idiots.
for these
I
guys.
hate them. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, y'all
So
are
wait,
pretentious,
are you guys-
egotistic idiots.
Wait, are you guys gonna play the one that you just played for me when we
Yeah,
walked in?
yeah,
that one.
yeah, that one. Like I did not. Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. Before you actually play it, because first off, it's gonna be blown out like hell, and everything else. Why don't we just say what they said? Like that's it. That
No,
way
we
we
can play
don't.
it.
that-
No.
I don't want to play it.
I want to play it.
No,
Why?
because
Because if we say it, we're gonna.
Why are we
it's
promoting
not,
them? Why are we promoting them?
That's true.
Okay, then don't shout them out. Just.
I don't want to shout them out.
Don't, exactly. We're
you're
not going to
using
shout
their
out. Play
audio.
the TikTok.
Hey, you.
Pon is the worst game that has ever been created that is also popular in a board game.
What? I've never played it, but I played Seven Wonders, and I love that game, and I assume this
Seven
was
Wonders
I
is
fucking
so
hate
hate Seven Wonders, and Seven
no,
Wonders
no.
is so much better.
No, it's so much better.
It's
I love
so
that.
much
It's
better,
much
and Seven Wonders is shit. Someone brought up Catan, and you were just like, I fucking hate that. It is an indictment of
Great, now we have to
normie
bleep
culture.
that.
That's where your Venn diagram
And,
swings
and I
back to
thought that
gamer.
was very poetic and beautiful, but also surprising. Catan is
That's it. That's it. So why did this TikTok bother me?
Why did it
Why?
Brian's
Why
bothers
did it
this
bother
week.
me?
Was it the language?
No.
It's gonna be when he
It's
edits.
It's the fact that
I
these
just want to remind
guys.
you that you chose that.
Look.
you chose like
This
when you
was Brian's
when you edit and you
idea.
have to go find that duck.
It's early in the TikTok. It's fine. It's early in the issue. Like I don't have to do work. Unlike you cuss like 50 something, like in the worst time possible, and I actually have to
Exactly,
look for
because
it.
I like-
that makes it difficult. It doesn't help me. Stop. And it doesn't help me when you say I'm gonna upload the video, and then you never freaking do until literally the last second.
First off,
No first stops.
I
You
have a
get no
job.
first stops.
I have a
So
job.
do I. No,
I have a job too.
I got a job too. I got two.
listen, my job.
And this.
Listen, I don't have time for your petty squabbles.
Anyways.
This is not what the podcast is.
This is not what the pod.
guys.
Why are you yelling at me? Just mute me.
No, I didn't. I'm making sure that the gains are right.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm not gonna mute you here. I
I'm
could.
gonna-
I have the power
Dude,
now.
when I'm back on the board,
Anyways,
Dang. See,
I'm gonna get you.
I don't think I can ever do the intros again because just that means one of you has to be on the board.
Are we gonna fight? Are we about to fight?
anyways, why did this TikTok piss me
Yes.
off? Okay, so this TikTok pissed me off because I understand. Like, I hate things. Okay, I hate them.
Dude, you hate everything.
Yes, but 80% of the time it's for a joke.
I have something
okay?
to say after. Go
Like,
ahead.
I hate anime,
Yeah.
but I will watch it. I'm a consumer of it. So I belong in the community. I'll admit it. I belong in the community.
Yes, you're a weeb.
Do they accept me?
You're a
No,
weeb.
probably
I do.
not. I'm not a weeb.
I accept
hate
you.
weebs. I'm not a weeb.
Dude,
Not a weeb.
I will cuddle.
Anyways,
I will cuddle
it's
with
okay
you
to
with
hate what
orange.
you've become.
Not a weeb.
It's fine. It
Listen,
happens to all
not a
of us.
weeb.
Listen, I will cuddle with you, and we can watch anime all morning long.
Aw.
I will finish. I have to finish Shaman King. So
Yeah, that's an anime,
that
bro.
is an anime, but I'm not a weeb. I consume the material, but I'm not a weeb.
I hate you so much.
And stop cussing.
I'm just making it hard on you. 'Cause
Yeah.
you decided to do that.
Go about more why you hate.
I muted him
You guys are.
I'll yell. I'll make it in
It's the
yours.
same thing.
You know
as
I
the
can be
fast-
loud enough to make it onto your mic. Your mic is loud enough. I can get
we haven't
louder.
even gotten to
I
why I
know.
hate this TikTok.
I'll
I
get
know.
in. I'll
Can
get
I
to
get
your
to my
mic.
point?
You're letting Nick get to you. That's another thing too. He's you're taking the bait. He's reeling out.
Dude, you know what? This is easier than it looks. This is way.
Anyway, so the reason I hate this TikTok is because I don't like people that hate like the simplicity of certain things.
Yes.
They feel like super pretentious to say that
They're-
because this feels so easy.
It's another way
and
of
it
being jaded.
Exactly. Catan is a freaking fun game.
Yes,
we can
it
all
is.
agree here.
Yes.
It's a fun game.
I love that.
There's
game.
some
It's in my
simplicity.
trunk right now.
Yeah, there's some
down to
simple
play it.
fun. There's some simple like rules to it. It you could like anyone can pick up and play
Yeah.
it. It's perfectly fine. You can learn it in like half an hour.
Yeah, you do. You just do one easy game,
Yeah.
and everyone can pick up what to
Exactly.
do after in the next game.
But the more you learn, the more complex
The game can make
the
it.
game
Oh,
can
yeah.
be, right? So I don't understand why
Because
people.
that's when you start putting those extra sand tiles.
Yeah.
And then you're just like
Yeah.
desert everywhere. And you're just like, why would I do this? Have you done it before where you have like 4 or 5 like desert tiles?
I think so. Just to throw
And,
them
like,
out.
it's like you just throw out 4 or 5
Yeah.
desert tiles and then you only have like 1 brick tile that's like in there and you're just like, why did I do this?
or animals when you're like just farming a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you like your sheep.
Yeah. Anyway,
I know the reason why you want them
anyway,
sheep.
Keep going.
the one line that got me towards the end was, "It's an indictment of normie culture."
Yeah, that really.
I honestly, I
the
still
whole
don't.
time-
I still don't understand what the heck that means.
I don't know
I
either.
don't understand what that
It's
means.
yeah. They're trying so hard to kind of just.
It's an
It's-
indictment of normie culture.
Yeah, no, that's like being very pretentious at the same time. They're being jaded and pretentious at the same
Honestly,
time.
I hate that line, but I'm gonna start using that line anytime someone like
Why?
makes me mad. I'll just be like, "It's an indictment of normie culture," because it makes no sense.
It doesn't.
It makes no sense. What is an indictment of normie culture?
I don't even
What
know
does it mean?
Normie culture is
Like, what does it mean? Someone explain that to me.
all right,
Don't know. I'm not smarts.
all right.
Anyways, these guys are pretentious, egotistic idiots. And
No,
I
no,
hate
no.
them. Moving on.
I think I kind of understand what they were. I'm gonna try.
No, don't try to justify them.
No, I'm not trying to.
Don't
justify
play
it.
devil's advocate.
Let
here. These guys
The
don't
man
deserve to be
talk.
justified.
You talked.
Yeah.
Let Nick talk.
All right. Listen, we'll touch peepees later. Okay. You just need to calm down and let me talk. Okay.
Fired up.
Just relax. But anyway, I think what they're trying to go. Well, I think what they were trying to say was that Catan is so it's so broad. It's so like mainstream.
Yeah,
now.
it's become mainstream.
It's
game.
super
Problem.
mainstream. Where back in the day, Catan used to be a very like underground kind of game.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it-
yeah.
Back like maybe like 6 years ago, Catan was very much an unknown game. Couldn't find it anywhere. You had
Yeah.
to like go to a board game store to find it.
Yeah, you had to go to specifically a gaming shop.
But what's
Yeah.
the point of having that kind of atmosphere? Like, I'll put it this way. Okay, if we're going to talk video games, what's the number one video game that rose like drastically in the
Rainbow
last, like-
Six.
No. Apex Legends. That
Fortnite.
thing- no. Fortnite, actually, Fortnite's lower than Warzone.
Actually, if I was gonna say that, I would probably say Among Us.
Among
you
Us
were-
was one of
if
the
you
big
were-
ones.
If you
Yeah.
were gonna say like, if you're gonna kind of compare,
Yeah.
you know, a video game to like a board game, because Among Us was out for like maybe 3 years.
But it's not the
And
comparison
then-
to the board games that I'm trying to make. It's the communities around them.
But that's what I'm
Because-
saying, because Among Us has a really strong, it has a pretty strong community around it, and has a pretty like decent audience that just follows Among Us. That's the entire reason. I mean, when the game took off, because it's an indie company.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like maybe like
They've done
15
like 2 games. They've done
They
the
had done, like,
hairy stick figure man game.
Yeah, they had done like 2 games. There's maybe like 20 people that work at the company. Like it's not a very strong, it's not a big company. And like they don't have the server space. That's the entire reason why when like a couple of streamers started like really playing Among Us and showed how cool the game was, it was so hard to get on a server.
Yeah.
Because the servers were just garbage. You couldn't stay on a server. They kept dropping. It was because everybody was trying to play at the same time. And it became so normal for everybody to play Among Us. Like, think about it. Among Us has gone from being an indie game to being a multi-million-dollar like license, where now they're selling backpacks, figures, they're selling like merch, they're selling all these other things. I mean, they're even going, okay, now instead of making Among Us 2, we're going to be putting all the money we were going to do into Among Us 2, and we're just going to develop Among Us 1 better. So that way we can make better maps, do all these other things. Catan kind of did the same thing, where it kind of became like the universal beginner board game.
Yeah.
Where like now if people say, oh yeah, if like I'm going to start off with a board game, oh, let me show you Catan. Because Catan has like a lot of these like concepts in it that will string into other board games that like, it's like, because when you have like these like civilization games or these like survival games, you always go, oh, it's kind of like Catan.
Yeah.
Where like you go on a tile, then you roll, and then you like claim loot or you get whatever. I mean, same thing with like Dead by Daylight. I mean, not Dead by Daylight. Winter is Dead.
Oh, I love that one.
What was it?
I've heard of that one.
It's
I haven't
super
played
good.
it.
Yeah, the one.
They make a version for The Thing.
Yeah,
It's basically
So
that.
let me ask this, because for me, my
Puerto
problem
Rico.
are the communities revolving around these like you know indie games and stuff like that. Like now I understand what you mean by what these guys were probably talking about. Regardless of it, if a property goes from an indie development to like a small community into something big, why do you hate the fact that the growth is something that's negative? Like for me, the only reason I bring up Apex Legends is because you know how like because you and I watch more streamers than you would, right?
Yeah.
So
I watch like Closey and like Courage and.
okay, so
everybody
Courage
else.
just got Predator, which is like the highest rank possible, like top 800 in Apex
yeah.
Legends. And did you see what he was putting on his Twitter feed?
No.
He got Reddit hate. Like people were just hating on him.
Why?
Because apparently he got carried to the highest rank possible in the game. He played with some top players, but he was also playing a couple solo matches. But my problem is this: it's that why are communities so toxic in that sense? Because that turns off potential people from going in. When you have that kind of attitude where it's like, oh, it's an indictment of normie culture, what does that mean? Like, explain yourself. And I understand it was a clip from TikTok, but when you try to say like, oh, I hate it because, you know, it's an indictment of normie culture, what? Do you not want people to play it? Do you not want it to be popular? Give us a recommendation of what you think is a good board game then, so that way we don't think you're just an asshole.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Like when I started playing Catan maybe probably like 6-7 years ago. I started playing Catan like a lot, and one of my buddies was like, "Ah, dude, if you like Catan, then you'll love this game." And he introduced me to another board game called Puerto Rico. And in Puerto Rico,
What's that game called? Tropica or whatever it's called?
yeah, there's also Tropica. There's also these other games, but Puerto Rico is a lot of fun because Puerto Rico is all about you basically making your own like settlement. Like I have my own plantation, and then I have to get like settlers to work the plantation, and I have to make like mills in order to like grow crops, and then I have to sell it and stuff like that. There's a lot going on.
What kind of crops?
Like coffee and like tobacco,
Sure.
sugar.
Sure.
But no, but it's so. The thing that was like really cool about Puerto Rico is that there's so many different ways and so many different avenues of like, oh, this is how I win. Like you could win that game in multiple different ways, and there's like so many different strategies that you can possibly come up with to win, where it's like no one could really say you're playing a bad strategy. That's why the game is so much fun, because it's all about what exactly do you want to do in your plantation, or also what exactly do you get stuck with.
These games always bring us some sort of like, because I always love playing these games with people, not because it's like, oh, I want to win. It gives a lot of people personality. Like your play style explains how you kind of like go about life. Like for me, Civ, I'm a huge Civ fan. I love Civilizations. I think I have like over 400 or 500 hours on Civ 5. Like I used to play it a lot in college, and for me, I always picked the US. I was always the U.S. because I loved expansion. I loved having my money. I didn't care for religion. I was just expansion and war. That's all I was. Expansion.
I feel like which one? Civilization forgot about the South. Because they love religion and war. It's like their number
But when
one.
they added
those
religion,
are
it
their
was
two
fun.
most famous exports.
Yeah.
But when they added religion in Civ 5, it was fun. Anyways, regardless of it, because we do have to move on to the next topics. I think it's that TikTok was just dumb. I felt like they needed to just kind of explain it a little bit more, and to say that it's an indictment of normie culture, they're an indictment of normie culture.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I feel.
I hope they
that-
listen to this.
You know,
I hope they do.
Yeah, this
You know what?
random podcast.
Yeah,
that-
Right, yeah.
this random podcast.
Don't like-
If they know who these people are, go ahead and send this stuff, because I want to be on there.
Honestly, what I really
I'm not going to be a coward.
I'm not saying you're a coward. I'm just saying that you're bringing us in.
No, just me. Just me.
I'm down to fight. Let's do this. I'll meet him in an alley. Let's do this. We'll meet at the top of Whittier.
That's it. We're playing Secret Hitler with them.
No, because they probably don't like Secret Hitler either.
Oh, yeah, it's an
yeah.
indictment of normie culture.
Yeah.
Because
God forbid.
it's made by the same people as
Cards Against Humanity.
Because Cards Against Humanity was an indie game, and then it went to then it got like super popular. But but the problem is that not a lot of like Hasbro doesn't make any new board games.
No, they just
Like when you
re-release
when you
everything.
really think about like who's really making like new board games, like Hasbro doesn't really make new board games.
No, they just basically they'll put a new skin on it. Or
they get like Clue.
expansions and stuff.
Yeah, they get Clue, and then they go, what about if we get Clue, and then like we add a Cheaters edition, and then like we can like make it where like they can figure out, they can steal cards from each other.
Monopoly isn't Hasbro, is it?
They have a Seinfeld Clue.
Is
It's
it
also Hasbro.
Yeah. Do you ever see that Monopoly board game that's for cheaters?
Yeah, it's Cheaters Monopoly.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Where like you can steal from the bank and stuff like that, like their actual like abilities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can
It's
steal
so
from the
weird.
bank. You can even steal people's properties,
I like playing Monopoly.
stuff like that.
I
Monopoly
like-
is a lot of fun, but
I like playing, but there's a cool of Monopoly, which is Pokemon Monopoly. It's a
Yeah.
Kanto region one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then like if it's cool because like if someone else has a Pokemon within the same like properties as your Pokemon, you could challenge them to a battle and just
What if
roll
we
dice.
live
see, that's
stream-
actually kind of cool.
That's
What
cool.
if we
The-
live stream like a game of Monopoly that just takes 8 hours?
Oh God.
I'm not
Anyway,
doing that.
yeah.
You lost me at Monopoly in 8
No,
hours.
but the thing is that there's been so many cool board games over the years, and especially now the indie environment for board games is like way bigger than the like mainstream. And everything else. Like I remember when Secret Hitler came out, and like they were only selling it at like cons.
Yeah.
Where it was like you couldn't get it anywhere else. We're
You can't
only
get it
selling
online.
Cards Against
yeah.
Humanity was the same way. You
Yeah.
could only buy
Yeah.
it through the site, and then now
Well, no.
Amazon picked it up and Target.
Well, no, for Secret Hitler, I remember when it came out, and I even asked them. I was like, "Oh, can I?" Because I flew there, so I didn't want to buy the board game and then put it in my
Yeah.
carry-on. And they were like, "Oh yeah, like you can't buy this anywhere else. We're only selling it at cons. That's it. That's all we're selling it for like the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get distributors." And I was like, "I have to buy this game." Like,
My friend has a one that has Donald Trump in it. Where
Dude,
you have
Secret
Donald-
Hitler?
Secret Hitler. Yeah.
I went
That's
to
dope.
when I was working for the video game the video game company. I went to this board game convention, and when we were there, I bought so many board games. I got stopped at airport security when I was leaving.
What are you hiding in these board games?
No, because when they scanned my bag, it had paper in it. Like it was just like my entire bag was full of paper.
Just paper, yeah.
And
Why
they
did
were
you
like-
wrap these board games up with so much paper? I don't want them dented.
No.
Sorry.
It wasn't even that.
This is
It was
the
the
inside.
it was
Yeah.
the inside
Of
of like
your
all
board.
these
Really?
cards and everything like
Yeah.
that, because they were like, "Why do you have so much paper inside of your luggage?" Because it was blocking things.
Wow.
Like it was so, like the paper was so thick it was blocking the.
They
Like
couldn't see through the
They
whole
couldn't see through the
bag.
whole bag, so they made me unpack my entire duffel just so that way they could
man.
see everything, and then they made me open every board game.
I was gonna
No.
say every
No.
envelope too. huh?
Every board game, every envelope.
Yeah.
Like it took me like 45 minutes, and then after they were done, they were like, "All right, cool, you're good." And then I had to
They
then
can't just confirm that it wasn't like if it's sealed tightly.
no.
I
No.
guess not.
No, they
yeah.
can't.
No, so then they told me is like once they figured out, oh, it's just board games because he's a nerd. This guy's just a nerd.
I just let him go. What is he gonna do?
No, so then like I was sitting I was literally sitting in the middle of the airport with like 8 board games, and I'm like trying to repack my bag while people are passing me in airport security, and like I'm on the floor like trying to shove this stuff into my and I'm looking at the time, and my flight
Yeah.
takes off in like 20 minutes,
Oh,
and I'm just like,
Sucks.
why? And like my coworker was just like, you had to buy those board games, didn't you? And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, dude, they were only being sold
At the
here
cons, yeah.
at the con, and he was like, dude, like in a year they would like come out. And I was
I'm
like,
not
but that-
waiting a year. Yeah.
Exactly. There's an entire year where I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
There's another board game my buddy just showed me. It's called I the Dark Lord.
Ooh.
I've heard of that one.
So
I've never
much
heard of
fun.
that. Tell me after the podcast. We have to move forward.
Hold up.
Okay.
Before we move forward, the reason why no. Here's the reason why I brought it up.
Hold up! I'm gonna take the reins here.
No. Here's the reason why I bring it up, because it's kind of like our show for Calls from the Multiverses,
Oh, really?
where one person is the Dark Lord, and essentially he's improving, and he has this like, you're all minions, and then you all have cards, and you're trying to explain how you failed,
Oh, that's dope.
and you're literally. But the thing is that.
Oh, that kind of reminds me of that. And then also, what is it? Bloom.
Yeah.
When you're explaining your life and
But you're trying to explain what went wrong
Gloom,
with
that's what it is. Yeah.
cards, and you're trying to pass the blame to each other.
That
What's
sounds
this
fun.
game called?
It's called I the Dark
Do
Lord.
you have it?
My buddy does. I can get it. It's off. I mean, it's on Amazon. It's
Okay,
a lot
I
of
gotta
fun.
look for it.
It's
I'm down to
There's
play
a
it.
Civilizations board game, and
Dude,
I kind of
it's-
want to get it.
I've never played that.
Dude, there's even like a. what
There's
was it?
even a Fallout board game and
We should schedule a
Dark
board
Souls.
I think
game
it's
night.
what is it called? It's called what's the one where you have to like make a settlement like over like a year and a half, or you're grandfather kills you.
What?
I don't know.
What video game is that? It's
Is it Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley, the board game. Stardew Valley released
Your
a board
grandfather
game.
doesn't kill you; he's dead, and he gives you a farm.
Yeah, no, but if you don't
farm.
if you don't finish in 3 years, he comes back and he kills you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you have to finish in 3 years.
Oh,
You have to-
I stopped playing after a couple hours. Anyways, talking about games.
Sorry. I've been holding this on because it happened to me this weekend, and it's just
We're
because
not gonna
going
get
on
past
to
this.
about Brian's bothers. I just, me and Mandy were walking around, and then there was we're walking across the street, and then the whole joke. Just how you always said that like Bryan just gets mad at just like random things, right?
Yeah, rock.
A rock. So we're walking and there's like leaves on the ground and leaves are blowing out in the wind and there's this like leaf that's blowing but steady on the ground. And for some reason I started laughing because I pictured Bryan yelling at it going, "You had one job to fly in the wind. You can't even do that." Just like and like, but the thing is that it's all in my head, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm just cracking up. And Mandy's like, "Why are you laughing so hard?"
That's really sad. I got real sad real quick.
Why? I feel like people
That's
always do that.
hilarious.
They're always like, "Oh yeah, this one thing reminded me of you," and it's always
That's
something like
so
where I get
funny.
really mad. And I'm like, "Hey man, at least they got a
I
personality.
mean,
I can admit that."
that's really funny. The fact that it's just like one thing not going the
Yeah,
way that you expected it,
yeah.
and you just blowing up for absolutely no reason.
I'm sorry.
I'm
but
living
it's
a legacy behind.
I know,
dude.
yeah. I just I don't know why. I just saw it. And
I can't wait till I become a
immediately pictured
director.
Bryan just yelling at the leaf.
That's what you know. What I'm gonna the day I become a director is
The day
is-
you become a director,
That's
is the
my
day
that's
you
my
get
thing.
fired.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna be like the next Quentin Tarantino, where he's just like a weirdo. You know.
You're gonna look at a bunch of people's feet.
No,
he's
I
just
just get
gonna-
angry at stuff. I look at a wall. I'm like, what is this wall doing here?
He's gonna Christian Bale it.
No,
Talking
it's-
about games
Yes.
from the other stuff. Free Guy.
Free Guy.
So we're gonna do a quick little review about the video.
Spoilers.
The video movie thing.
Yeah. I'll go first.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
And spoilers.
So the idea of Free Guy
Spoilers.
is if imagine if you had a Grand Theft Auto-esque game that you could level up and kind of do whatever you want in this free world.
Yeah.
And what would have happened if instead of NPCs kind of just going about their daily lives, or just being going in and out, if one of the NPCs were to have gained sentience?
Yeah.
And what about if all of the NPCs have sentience? They all have their own lives, they have their own thoughts, they have their own dreams, everything else, and these people are just murdering them
Yeah.
like day in day
Like
out.
players will come in and they're just literally just like murdering these.
Yeah,
It's
and-
GTA meets Sims.
Exactly,
That's what
and
it
it's
is. Yeah.
and it's kind of like what would happen. Like honestly, I think I said it in the movie theater when me, you, and Andy went to go watch it. Where we were watching the movie, and I was just like, I feel real bad the way I play Grand Theft Auto now.
Yeah.
You rethink. It makes you rethink how you play.
Dude, I
certain-
drive on the
Yeah.
sidewalk on purpose.
So little side story. Little side story
Oh my God.
before we talk more about our thoughts on Free Guy. And going back to what you said about how it makes me rethink how I play these certain games. When I used to play Fallout a lot, and I used to restart the stories, there's one thing I would never ever do with my character, and that was become a cannibal.
Why?
I couldn't do it.
I think you've
Morally-
talked about this. Yeah.
Morally speaking, I cannot do it. Like every time it was given an option, even you ever play Fallout 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember the vampire guild that lives
Yes.
underground? So I did the mission, and I've never done it in the years that I played it until maybe about a couple of years back.
Okay.
I finally went to the town that was being attacked by these vampires, or these vampires people, and I did the mission. And I think that mission requires you to have or drink blood or something like that. And
Yeah,
I
in order
didn't.
to
I felt so gross.
Really?
I do not
That's
like
interesting.
that,
Dude,
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like in. Like I've
Give me that cup.
my brother likes to joke that I go renegade always. When I do.
Full Paragon.
No, I'll go Paragon on my first playthrough because I know that's how you like get especially if the game is going on like your memory or your save is going on to another game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always make my first game Paragon because I know I'm going to get the most out of that
Yeah.
for the next game. But then once I'm done with it, I go, all right, now what about if I'm a jerk the entire game?
I can't.
What about if I'm
I
just
think-
a badass?
I can't.
I think the one time I did that for a game was Infamous.
Yeah.
And I played through. Obviously, I played through the game first time around. It's like as the
Right,
good guy.
right.
And that one and then after that, I would just be like, okay, well, I kind of would just be a little chaotic.
So
I would still be like a hero, but I would be more of a chaotic.
See,
kind
that's
of
the
one.
problem is I can't separate myself from reality to like a video game persona. I always put myself in it. And that's, I think, a problem that I have with a lot of these games is because, I put myself so much into this. I can't do certain actions. Even in Skyrim, the vampire quest, if you recall, you never played Skyrim, have you?
No.
Rene? No? Okay. So in Skyrim, they added a vampire quest. This is DLC. And in order for you to be in the guild and become a vampire, you have to drink the blood of a prisoner that they have. So you visually see them dragging the prisoner from the cell, and you yourself killed them. That mission was hard for me. It was hard because I couldn't do it. I did it because I had to, but like inside, like personally, it was hard for me to do it.
I'll be totally honest with you. With Skyrim, I never beat it.
Well, I took me like 4 years.
Well, here's the reason why. I spent almost 120 hours on Skyrim.
I spent 200 something. I had to double check on my Xbox.
So I have 120 hours.
Yeah.
Mind you, that was all side quests and doing other things, collecting stuff. I made the mistake of being a Khajiit.
Oh, I was
The cat people.
What was I? I was a Argonian.
The problem with that is that the cat people are already hated inside of Skyrim.
No, they hate the Argonians more.
They hate the cat people too. Like you will not get like if you go to the stores, like people won't sell to you. Like you can't, like sometimes you have to sneak in.
That's right.
You have to sneak into like places. You have to sneak into towns because like certain towns won't like open up to you.
I'm not a huge fan of MMOs.
Well, here's
It's not an MMO.
It's not.
Well,
No,
here's
it's an
the
open.
it's an open world RPG. But the thing is that here's the problem though, is that I got into a fight as I was walking around one day and I got scratched by a vampire. I didn't realize I was scratched by a vampire and I turned into a vampire, which apparently nobody likes them. So now I can't even walk into a city.
So you're a cat vampire?
I'm a cat vampire that already had problems going into a city. So now when I go into a city, I immediately get attacked because I'm a vampire. And I told one of my buddies, I was like, dude, I'm a vampire Khajiit. And he was just like, dude, you better just start over. He's like, you have to start over. Like there's nothing you can do.
You're done.
And I was like 120 hours in, and I was like, dude, I've already spent all this time. And he's like, you better make a new character. He goes, the only way to like undo vampirism is like you have to do these like a bunch of side quests and stuff like that in order to get rid of vampirism.
And once you get rid of vampirism, you can't actually like get it back ever because you've cured yourself from it.
You've cured yourself of it. But he was like, yeah, you have to do like all these things. But the problem is that you can't go to certain locations because you're a Khajiit and they won't allow you in. So you can't even start the quest because of your race. And I was like, that's racist.
That's really racist.
That's racist.
When he said that, I'm just like, wait, we're talking about video games, right?
Yeah, and like he was like, you can't even start it because they don't like
But that's
you.
the definition of racism.
Yeah,
basically.
he was like,
definition.
He literally goes, dude, you're boned. Like you can't do anything. Like there's nothing you can do in this game now. You need to just start over. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done.
So Free Guy.
Connecting it back to this movie, it does that really well because, granted, we're all video gamers. Like at one point in our lives, we played video games like this.
Yeah.
Right.
And I felt like this movie did such a fantastic job at reminding us about these certain elements in these games, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, okay, you saw it before both of us.
Yes, I saw it.
And you've seen it twice.
I've seen it twice already.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I loved it.
That was interesting.
It's just fruit punch energy drink.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
It's sour.
Are you done?
He's drinking if you guys don't know, it's a Plus Ultra All Might energy drink.
Yeah. Do you want to go plus ultra or not?
Oh, that tastes like candy.
It's all
That's weird. I don't know if I like it.
It's all of your face, neck, and chest, baby.
Anyways, you like
So
the movie?
I liked the movie. I thoroughly liked it because you could tell that Ryan Reynolds had a lot of play into it with all these, jokes and then certain cameos as well too that was featured in the movie.
He had a lot of friends there.
There was so many
Do you know
people
that
in
Tina
this
Fey
movie.
was there?
She was a voice.
Tina Fey,
No,
Hugh
Tina Fey
Jackman
was the mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was the mom with the kid that's like,
That's-
don't touch that sock.
Yeah, and then John
Mom!
Krasinski was in it as well too.
Mom, I swear to God, if you touch that
was
sock.
he was the shadowed gamer that says I kill. What is it? the NPCs all the time.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum was in it.
Hugh Jackman.
Where was he?
He was
He was the guy that gave her the
mask.
in the very beginning.
Oh, he sounded so familiar.
That was Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman.
I was like, who is that?
In the beginning, that started and that scene started, and he started talking, and I was like, that's Hugh Jackman. And then both him and Andy go, what? They go, that's Hugh Jackman.
Really, spoiler right here. The best one was Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I laughed so hard.
I think we all laughed.
Yeah,
like
we all
I
really
just-
laughed really hard. That was the perfect
God.
use of an F-bomb.
It's
It's a perfect use of an F-bomb.
But it's like okay, yeah, sorry, go on.
No. Like if it was a rated PG-13 movie and they only had one F-bomb,
That was the way to do it.
Yeah,
Chris Evans, give it to Chris
have
Evans.
yeah, that would have been definitely the way to have done
Yeah.
that.
So besides all the cameos and
Yeah.
stuff like that, did you feel like I'm gonna say that the movie wasn't like a film like
No.
it's super like great and
No,
stuff. Like
it's a fun film.
it's a fun ride.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's the thing. It was fun, funny. You were really drawn in through the story,
Yeah.
because you wanted to see where it was going to go.
Yeah.
And all the characters were great too. Even Taika Waititi's character was just really
Taika Waititi played Taika.
Yes.
That's all he did.
He had fun.
He played Taika, and that's all
do
he
you
did.
feel like Taika? He's had a very busy he's had a busy
yeah.
August. He's had a busy August.
Hey, good for him because he went from making one film that was like not well known from Thor Ragnarok to
Thor
like
Ragnarok.
everything else.
Yeah.
Speaking about like certain characters, the one thing I can't agree with, and a lot of people say this, and I hate it because it's kind of like it ruins the movie. It ruins the potential of other people going to see this movie for themselves. I don't want to see this movie because Ryan Reynolds just plays Deadpool. And that's wrong. Because I understand that from like certain actors. What's his name? The guy that played Sonic. Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
So Ben Schwartz, for me, I couldn't get him out of my head as the guy from Parks and Rec.
Right.
The one
Okay.
that sings like this, like that guy.
See, it's funny.
Yeah.
I know him mostly through internet videos.
Okay.
Like College
'Cause
Humor and
but
stuff.
the thing is that's where you got to start.
Yes,
that's
and then
where
he
gotta-
did that,
Yeah,
and I couldn't separate myself from that to the voice of Sonic because Sonic would sound something like "Hey guys," like that kind of like,
Yeah.
character, right?
Right.
So when he performed the Sonic character, automatically I fell in love, and I was like, okay, Ben Schwartz is the new voice of Sonic, and I completely agree with that.
honestly, yeah, I'm really also happy that for that Sonic movie they changed everything about
Yeah.
it because I feel like they wouldn't have done Ben Schwartz justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
with the original CGI. With
yeah.
that.
Now,
Oh,
here's the
definitely.
thing. Ryan Reynolds here, if people say, oh, he's just Deadpool and that's why this movie's not good, you're wrong. Ryan Reynolds has always had the potential to act the way he does. It's just that he has his bigger role here in Deadpool, and he carried that energy into Free Guy.
Yeah.
He plays Guy. He doesn't
Yeah.
play Deadpool.
Yeah.
This is Guy. And Guy is just a nonchalant, very optimistic character. Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
If anything, I would say that he hasn't been playing. I would say that for the last 25 years he has been playing Van Wilder.
Van Wilder.
Yeah. National Lampoon's Van Wilder.
National
yeah,
Lampoon's
yeah.
Van Wilder because that's basically what he's been doing in every movie since.
He's been almost in a way typecast as like the funny, good-looking dude.
The funny, good-looking.
He
smart.
played that character. He had so much fun. Just he rubbed his ego so much in this movie.
Oh, Free
Oh,
Guy?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. He had. Let's not be wrong. He did.
Well, he produced this movie.
He produced the
Yeah.
movie, so I mean, he was using all of like his best assets. You do not
His best
hire.
ass sets.
Listen, you don't hire him for an Irishman.
No.
You hire him for a goofy video game movie where
Yeah.
it's also going about this like existential crisis
Yeah.
of like NPCs and the crime that players do on them.
That, and then also you could tell that now moving forward, Fox is just letting him do the marketing.
Because he's good at
He's
it.
good at it. Yeah,
He's
solid.
really good at it.
Yeah, why would I not?
Yeah.
Like to restrain Ryan Reynolds is a crime. That's a
Yeah.
federal crime. Like I'm gonna label that right as it is. Like no.
If you
Well,
don't
that-
let him market his movie,
If you don't let him be a free guy,
I'll admit Ryan Reynolds is a marketing genius.
Oh,
in
yeah.
general. Have you?
Definitely.
You've seen his Aviator vodka?
I subscribe to his YouTube channel just
Well-
to see all of his videos.
Well,
he has vodka.
Yeah.
No,
Where?
it's a gin. No,
Or
it's aviation gin.
Aviator gin. I need that.
But
good.
the greatest thing
good?
about
It's actually not
it's
bad.
actually not bad.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's really interesting about that is that it was literally a small company that had this really good gin, and they reached out to him and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we want you to promote. Like, we just want you to promote our gin and stuff like that. Just be a spokesperson." He liked the product so much he bought the company.
He is now the CEO.
Yeah, he's now the CEO of this gin.
And like I'll see like liquor trucks go by, and
With
when
his face?
he's sitting in a couch chair holding aviation gin, and he's just like, that's
Yeah.
No, because okay,
Or
like
the what was it, like the Super Bowl commercial? I
Yeah.
love that Super Bowl commercial where it was like 3 different famous people. I think it was him, Diddy,
yes,
and somebody else, and they made a drink that was like of like Diddy champagne. This like soccer
it was
players
like a liquor orgy. I think
Yeah,
he
it was,
said,
like,
or
yeah, it,
something
was like
like
a, it was like a liquor orgy of all 3 of their liquors put together.
yeah,
And
of
they
celebrities' famous liquors.
Yeah, it's like celebrity famous liquors and like a little bit of orange juice to like mix it all together. And then he's like, "This is your halftime drink." And then all 3 of them drink it at the same time and immediately spit it out. And then they're just like, "Oh, Ryan, I don't think this is gonna work."
The best aviation gin video is when he legitly gets an old lady that was born on a leap year day, and she technically turns 21 when she was like 50, and she has her first legal drink with aviation gin, and it's super funny.
is it Ryan Reynolds that like
He's doing
I
the
wish I
monologue.
could I wish I could have his
Have
voice.
you seen the Hugh Jackman aviation?
Yeah, and what is it? And then
So
it's the
there's
coffee.
Yeah, because Hugh Jackman has coffee.
Yeah,
So
he has his own coffee company now.
So him and
Are you serious?
Yes. Hugh Jackman has
What
his
do
own
we?
coffee.
Hang on, before we move on.
What are we
we gotta
doing?
start? We gotta start thinking about what we want to
Yeah.
have. What do
So-
we get?
well,
do
'cause
we
they-
start our own energy drink company?
we have to.
Honestly, I
Keep
I
up.
feel like that's
what. That, okay, got it.
feel like that's-
We got it. That's the name. That's it. Energy drinks called Keep Up. Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
we need to
that's-
buy a small startup energy drink company. Okay, we need to rebrand it as Keep Up. Okay, and we're gonna have fun flavors, but they're gonna be themed to like our things.
You mean Ghost?
No,
It's
not
just-
Ghost.
It's just basically Ghost.
No, because our flavored names are gonna be like connected to us. Totally. Like for me, is like if it was like fruit punch flavored, it'd be like bothered.
Why does the fruit bother you?
I don't know. It's too many fruits at once.
You really want to? You want?
What's getting punched?
Quick question, guys. Y'all want to reword those
I know.
those statements?
Why?
Let's really rethink those.
It's not clicking.
It's not clicking yet.
It's not clicking. I know what you mean. That's why I'm wondering if it's. I know
What
what you,
statement?
I don't want to know. I'm not doing it. Let's move
We'll
forward.
move forward. I'll talk about it
Talk
later.
about it after the podcast.
We'll talk about it after the podcast. You
Whatever.
You should have an apology tweet.
But
tweet
going
later.
back because
but
next podcast, I want to reiterate what I said.
when I said last podcast, I'm an idiot and I just don't understand how what words mean.
I'm so confused.
I didn't mean to offend.
We said the fruit word, and then the bothered word.
Then you also said I'm going to punch him.
No, I didn't say punch it. I said fruit punch, and that it would be called bothered.
We'll go about. We'll go
Okay,
over
we'll
this
move
later.
forward from that.
We'll go over this later in playback. We'll go over it in playback.
Okay, yeah,
you might have to cut something. So anyway,
I might have to cut. No, I don't want to edit.
So,
just
but overall, when it comes to Ryan Reynolds marketing, it's great, and he did that great for Free Guy. Where I think
Yeah,
the
he
first
did.
video he did for Free Guy was like just a sit down with the cast.
Yeah.
And there was even no trailer. He's just literally talking about like, oh yeah, like I'm selling Free Guy merch because technically we're owned by Disney, you know? And
and wasn't it like all like really like it was garbage merch that he
Yeah.
had made himself?
It was like a name tag he was selling.
like he-
What did he really?
Yeah, so he had like garbage. He just had a name tag, and he was like, "Free Guy name tag, $75."
And a guy calls. He goes, "Hey, yeah, I'm calling here for the name tag. Actually, my name is Guy." He's like,
It's hilarious.
I gotta show you all those.
I
videos.
didn't know that. I completely forgot that 20th Century Fox was bought by Disney.
Disney. Yeah.
So
Oh, did you see the
the Korg one.
no, what I was going to tell you was
In the
because
movie.
I I have an account with Partners because I used to work for Disney.
Oh, okay.
I don't work for them anymore, so what are they going to do? Like, shut me down for talking about this?
Cease and desist.
Right?
Whoa.
If it wasn't
We
for that, it's going
monitor
to be
all
this.
of our ex-employees.
Dude, I would laugh so hard if you just see like a red dot.
That's
on
what we were
Bryan's
saying
head.
every time we
You
talk
just-
about Disney. It's
You
like,
just see a red dot, and he's like, "What are they gonna do? They can't do nothing
can't.
to me."
We're listening to right now. We're just
Predator
waiting
3
for
dots
him.
right on.
Three dots on your
They do own Predator now.
You just see the alien tail just like slink down.
Dude, that's the dream.
That's a dream to get killed by
To
an
get killed
alien.
by an alien.
So,
Oh, God.
for
Francis the alien. Yes! Do it!
Is that when it comes down and then you hear, "Woohoo! Hello!"
I shouldn't be laughing, but when someone messes with you.
So for the Partners website, they
Yeah.
said that if
Right,
you
right.
open a new account, they give you a free guy shirt.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I can't open another account because I already have 2 accounts with them. But it was a dope one. It's just literally a T-shirt with like the button down like print
Yeah.
on there.
That's still pretty sick.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
sick. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay. I mean,
I mean, it's a sick. Go on eBay.
yeah.
It's probably on eBay.
Oh, I don't think you can sell merch that's Disney on eBay.
No, you can't.
If it's not available to the public, I don't think they allow you to
No,
do it.
that's not true. I see people sell
I see people
Disneyland
selling
merch
Disneyland,
exclusives all the time.
I saw
Oh, well, I
somebody-
have a bunch of exclusive stuff.
I saw somebody sell like parts
People,
of them.
I was gonna say, people are selling the popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
You know, and
People-
they're selling the cups like this.
I saw,
yeah.
dude. I saw somebody who sold like a jacket, of
Really?
like a cast member's jacket,
Yeah.
where it was just like on eBay, and I was like,
They can't monitor everything.
I was like,
but
where, I was like, what? They just like they quit one day, and they were just like, they're never getting this stuff back.
the memories.
I'll pay the $700.
So, but overall, I mean, it's safe to say that obviously we all love Free Guy.
Dude, I love
Except
this movie.
one person.
Which I'm kind of shocked.
Yes. So, are we going to go into the ending?
Here's
Hold on.
for the movie. Before we go into it, I am a huge fan of silly rom-coms.
Yeah.
Like I love rom-coms.
Would
I
you
think
really
they're-
consider this to be a rom-com?
It technically is.
very
it is
light.
because the entire reason why Guy goes on his
created,
journey
yeah.
or is created is because he falls in love.
Okay.
And he's trying to not only impress her, but also he's trying to figure out who he is as well. That's the definition of rom-com.
Yeah.
Like he has to then go on this journey of like self-discovery before he then understands what true love is and how exactly it represents him. This is a rom-com, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
agreed.
this is a rom-com.
I see what you mean.
But the idea at the very end, I mean, honestly, I thought the ending was sweet. I thought it was
was,
such a
actually.
sweet, like whoever wrote the ending
I enjoyed it.
was
really
a genius because I loved it because it also kind of like went back to those like 80s, like early 90s, like rom-coms.
Didn't you get that vibe from
Yeah,
that?
that vibe
The
of like
camera angles, like how long it took the woman to realize that the guy sent a secret message.
yeah, like it kind of reminded me
yeah.
of like I said like
There were
you have
layers.
like You Have Mail or what was it like Made in Manhattan stuff
Yeah.
like it kind of reminded me of those like where it's like oh yeah like you don't know what you have or oh yeah like this person isn't who they seem to be or something like that. I love those kind of rom-coms. I think they're
Definitely.
so sweet. I think they're dumb, but I think they're but they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
They're dumb rom-coms, but they're beautiful. Like
Yes.
they have such a sweet message that it's something that you can just definitely get behind.
So for me, the ending, like I'm in that same boat. The ending to me, like you could have already kind of predicted what the ending was probably a third into the movie.
Yeah.
Because when you saw Molotov Girl go into the park or that secret area and see the swings and the
Yeah.
bubblegum ice cream, it's like, oh, I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
You can put the pieces together. But it
That's
was like,
a programmer designed all of this stuff, and it just so happens to be all of her favorite things.
The
and
best
she's like,
way-
and she even says, "I've never been to this area."
yeah, the best way I can explain it is like, yeah, you guys ever go to like Disneyland and like enjoy those like small, very like gentle rides? Like for me, I guess like one of the like my favorite ride that's like pretty, easy, Haunted Mansion. It's an enjoyable,
Oh, yeah, Haunted
very
Mansion.
like
Yeah,
ride.
Haunted
You
Man-
already know what's gonna happen and all these different things.
I like
That's
Pirates
what
of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean is a good one. I feel like Free Guy is that ride in the sense that like nothing is going to surprise you.
I like Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, but it's like enjoyable. No matter how many times you go into that ride, you still enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what Free Guy was. And the ending was fantastic. It is a rom-com. I did like the ending where they said, oh my God, what are you getting?
He's hitting boxes.
I didn't realize there was a box under there.
So like the ending where I forget the guy's name.
Who?
The programmer, the two programmers essentially,
Oh,
like
the
they
Joe Keery's character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did the whole. You said the '80s. I think there was like an '80s TV kind of like gimmick where he was standing in front of the coffee shop across the street, and she's standing on the other side of the street
then they
in
just
the
both
apartment,
know.
and then they just both know and go into the middle of the street and they kiss.
But it
And
ends.
before,
But it
just
ends.
cuts right before
It cuts,
that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no long lingering kiss scene. It's
No.
just like right where they're about to kiss.
Done. We get to the point. It was good. It was nice.
Because the true romance was that bromance.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, and then you get it was a very satisfying story.
Well,
And I will say
you did want to see what happened to Guy
exactly.
after.
I will say that a lot of these outlets like IGN that said like, "Oh, it's a really fun movie" up until the end where like it started going to real life. Shut up. It was a good movie overall.
Here's my thing though, is that I feel like the rom-com portion of it was written because it was that they wrote themselves into a hole.
I think
of
so. Yeah.
How exactly do we make this not weird where she fell in love with a computer program? Like how do we explain the fact that she fell in love with Guy? Because she did. She started having feelings for Guy at the end.
Yeah.
And everything else. And then the easiest explanation was, what about if the person in real life
Created.
created Guy, that wrote Guy's code, is the one that's truly in love with her? And then you can have this sweet little like end message that goes into the whole thing, because it very much like that what was it, the message thing was kind of the same thing as like of like the Snyder cut when what was it, when Cyborg crushes the he listens to the beginning of the tape and
He
then
doesn't finish it.
and he doesn't finish it and then like he crushes the tape, and at the very end when Cyborg's dad dies, there's like that like real like touching like monologue at the very end of the movie that very well like sums up the entire movie. And I thought that was a very interesting way of kind of like, she pauses the story, she pauses the video before he can explain himself of how exactly he knows that Guy is from their code.
So if you had to wrap up your thoughts in 2 minutes, because we do have 2 other topics to talk about, we're at the 50-minute mark. What do you guys? What are your final thoughts on this movie?
I really enjoyed this movie. I feel like even if this movie does well, awesome.
It already did.
Well, here's my thing though. I don't want a Guy 2.
No.
I feel like this is a one and done
Oh yeah.
of a movie.
But Disney's pushing for it.
Disney's gonna push it, and especially since it made a lot of money, and it has Ryan Reynolds in it, and it has like all these like really famous actors, and there's like some things that you can still kind of do, because you can technically make it kind of like Wreck-It Ralph-esque.
Yeah.
Where it's like, now that we're like the Oasis or anything like that, like now we're welcoming in like other video game characters from other thing else.
That's a really creative thing, but I feel that if they but I'm not saying I like this idea. I feel like they're gonna do a fish out of water kind of thing, where
Guy gets sent to a different video game.
No,
or?
like Guy somehow gets into the real world.
I don't want.
I feel,
that.
and me neither. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like that's going to be the next step, and I feel like Disney will do that.
So what are your thoughts on the movie, Rene?
So the movie overall, I really enjoyed. I agree with Nick 100% that it's a one and done kind of thing. Don't do a sequel. If anything, just give Ryan Reynolds more creative control for the next movie. If you want Ryan Reynolds to do a movie like another comedy, just give him something else, move forward from it or something like that. Or give him a Disney property that you think that he can work with. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me personally, I tried to figure out why it was that I enjoyed this movie so much. Like there was a charm to it that I was like, I can't put my finger on it. And it hit me. I looked at the director, Sean Levi. He also directed Cheaper by the Dozen, The Pink Panther, All Three Night at the Museums, Real Steel.
Yes, I love Real Steel.
So he directed all these movies, and I'm like, that's why. These are very charming movies.
And
it had a good charm.
And you know what's funny? Oh, yeah, like all those movies, like you said, they're
Internship.
charming. They're so good. They're not like super awesome movies, but they're like movies
have a
that
charm.
Yeah,
They
you're,
have a good
you're like,
charm.
oh yeah, no, that's actually a really good movie.
Like,
So-
okay, if
yeah.
you were to look at it, Night at the Museum is a very dumb idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's charming.
Night,
it's a
Night,
fun
Night
movie.
At the,
Yeah.
well, hold on. Okay, when I say dumb idea, I'm wrong.
Concept.
No. Because because here's the thing though, is that I think even as a kid, it's an idea that you've always had of like what happens when a museum closes. Like what happens at the museum? Like you have all these exhibits
Toy
and everything
Story,
like
but
that.
for museums.
Yeah, it's basically like I'm
Toy
almost
Story,
positive that was how it was pitched.
Yeah.
Like what about if a museum comes to life and you have all these exhibits and they don't know that they're in the real world and they're trapped in the museum, and then at the very end of the day they all go back to their
Normal.
to their normal
stances
positions.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And then nobody knows. The only person that knows is the night watchman. That's it. And you have like different adventures that go into it. Cute idea. Not only that, but also add Ben Stiller and Robin Williams to it.
The movie's gonna sell,
dude, and Robbie Malek.
Yeah.
That was Robbie Malek before he was like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
So for me to kind of wrap up this topic, Free Guy, I feel like people should give it a chance if you're interested in it. Like,
Yeah.
don't fear the fact that it's like a video game movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's got its charm. Go give it a watch. It's probably going to be a classic within the next like 5 years. And for the people that keep saying, well, it's just Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool again, shut up. Like, I'm sorry, but no, for real. It's like, give this movie a chance and don't just turn off people from not watching it because you don't want another Deadpool movie. You have to give Ryan Reynolds credit for where credit is due. He is doing a phenomenal job as an actor, and he's acting like himself. Just because Deadpool made big, again, it's an indictment of normie culture. I feel like that's what it is. It's that kind of mentality where it's like, oh, he's
that's true.
yeah,
But
it's like,
I
oh,
do
well,
see what
he's
you mean.
yeah, it's he's Deadpool in this movie, so why watch
but
it? No, shut up. And I know, I know, I have a couple people that I know that say that, and I'm like, no, I got mad. I was just like, no.
Well, the thing is that he didn't even know who Deadpool was for like the longest time.
But he studied, and that's why he
But
did such a
'cause-
good job at
yeah,
it.
because the thing is that he didn't know who Deadpool was for like the longest.
Yeah.
I think he didn't learn.
The people that say that he's just playing Deadpool don't know Deadpool.
Well, that's the
that's
thing.
what I'm
though.
gonna say.
But here's the thing, though. For this, like Ryan Reynolds he didn't learn about Deadpool until he had made Blade 3.
Yeah.
He didn't know about Deadpool because when he was playing King inside of Blade 3, the director had said, you remind me of like a perfect Deadpool. And not only that, but also it worked too because they were still working with Marvel.
Yeah.
At the time, that was when it was like Marvel Studios like had their own movie studio, and they were selling properties and stuff like that. And like the Marvel guys were talking to him, and they go, oh yeah, like you would make a perfect Deadpool. Not only that, but also in the comics, they even mentioned like, what do you look like under the mask? Oh, I look like Ryan Reynolds if he was bitten by a radioactive Shar-Pei.
Yeah, I think I might have that issue that he said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So that's exactly. So they go like, oh yeah, like that's really awesome. And Ryan Reynolds really didn't know a whole lot about Deadpool and everything else. Not only that, but also
he studied it.
yeah, but he did study. But the thing is that if you look at Ryan Reynolds' filmography, this attitude or the way that he like acts or like this like sarcasm or like his wit, it didn't start with Deadpool.
No.
He has.
He's always been like that. Like,
he has like maybe like 50, 60 movies behind it that all have that same sharp wit. He has that same improv. He has that same kind of like dark humor to it. And that's what, but the thing is that he brought that to a property like Deadpool.
But Nick,
and it sells.
But Nick, it's because of the indictment of normie culture.
Why did you have to bring it back to that?
Because I got to move on to the next topic.
I had just forgotten and realized what sunlight was.
Well, what if you just let me move on to the next topic, okay? What if?
Honestly, when you say that, I could smell you.
What if episode
that's
2?
like two things. Like he says one thing that doesn't make sense, and you just said it right back. He said
Oh
it-
no, you never met those nerdy guys that you're just like, oh, I can like the way you look.
Well,
I
yeah.
can smell the way you look.
What?
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
I
at
have,
the
but I'm
old
like,
store-
why?
Have you
At
never
the
been
old
to like
store-
an old con?
Yes.
No,
Oh,
I
not
mean
an
like
old con, but I know
like
what you're talking
like
about.
like a board game con.
Oh, no, and I
I was
don't
gonna
want
say-
to.
Or like a card con.
Why are
or
we?
like
oh,
a card
God,
shop.
can't-
You're just giving me flashbacks because at the first store we used to run Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments.
First off, Magic the Gathering people don't shower.
yes.
That's bad.
What? All of a sudden, people are just gonna be like, "This
you
is the
know,
worst
hold on,
episode ever."
you know it's bad when tournament rules have to add. You have to wear deodorant.
That was Smash
and
Brothers 2
showers.
years ago.
We kicked out like 4 people because they smelled really bad.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I had a guy that came in, looked like he would just
people
come in
stank.
after work.
Well, what if that never happened?
Smoke cigarettes and
What if
still walk out and walk back in.
What if that never happened?
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding.
Are you
I'm
just
trying to
saying
say
that,
what
like-
if
No,
so we can
dude.
move on about what if.
Nah, dude, that those people smell.
What if we just moved on to the next topic?
That comment
That
was
could
like,
happen,
that
but
comment,
it's-
that comment smelled like them. That's how bad it was.
If you wanna
Episode
know-
2 of What If Chadwick Boseman finally pops up.
I hate you so much. Because I can't get that smell out of my nose.
Oh
now.
my God! Shut up! Why are you so sensitive today?
'Cause
I'm
it's-
sorry. It's my responsibility to
'cause
be
the-
the weird
'cause-
one, and all of a sudden you're the one that's crying about stuff
No,
over
you
here.
know why? Because that smell, it's kind of like poop mixed with like with like 3-day-old cheese,
With like a hint of like Axe body spray.
Axe body spray,
Yeah.
and then not only that, but then like a little bit of cigarettes, like not a lot,
Yeah.
because they don't actually smoke. It's their mom that smokes,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they smell like that.
And then a little hint of disappointment. That's it. That's all I have to say.
They,
Are you guys done?
Yes.
Oh, it's because they forget to clean under the boob.
So you get that sourness.
Yeah, you gotta lift and
Yeah.
clean.
Lift and clean. Lift and clean.
Yeah, imagine the gathering people were gross. So
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's a card game.
and if you don't,
Look, I think we do have a couple people that play Magic. It's just Nick. You're basically saying it's an indictment of normie culture. Okay.
Oh my
That-
God!
I'm
I'm getting so mad at that now.
dude, the smell's getting stronger. It's getting stronger in my nose. Anyway,
So
What if now?
you got mad at this episode?
I don't like this episode.
No,
okay,
you
I
like it,
love-
but no.
don't open with
yeah,
that.
don't
Okay,
say
fine,
that
fine,
because
fine. I won't say that. I loved this episode.
You
Can
are
I-
disappointed
hang on.
that this is a
I'm
good
dis-
episode.
I'm
Hang on.
disappointed
Before
in
we
the
move on to
series.
this,
Yeah.
before we move on completely to this topic,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this, okay? The opinions that I'm going to express about What If Episode 2 are not going to be based upon the fact that it's Chadwick Boseman in this episode.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
aside
did help.
from the
That
fact
did help, though.
That did help. But from the fact, if we took Chadwick Boseman out of this, okay? This is a solid episode.
I'm not gonna lie. Having a majority of the characters come back and voice their characters
was a cherry.
it was a huge cherry on
Yeah.
top. I mean, it was a good story.
Yes.
But that was a huge cherry on top. And not only that, but also I feel like what they should have done is for the characters that they couldn't get back, like let's say they couldn't get they couldn't get Chris Evans.
Yeah.
They should have then went to like Marvel Assembled or Avengers Assembled.
Yeah,
And gotten
yeah.
the voice actor from there, so that way there was a familiar voice
Somewhat, yeah.
that was there that you were like, oh, that's Captain America.
Same thing
That's Steve.
with Tony as well too.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tony.
yeah.
Like go and get like a Tony that people have already kind of fallen in love with, and then give that guy a job. And because voice actors are hungry.
Oh
And
no, they are.
Very.
Hey, much respect to many of the voice actors out there right now.
They-
Like they're grinding.
Yeah, they're grinding,
which is good.
and they're
They're
working
home
at
studios
home. Yeah,
and
they're making
putting
their own
themselves out
studios,
there.
doing everything else.
Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
Yeah,
Yes,
but the thing is
definitely.
that okay, for me, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a lot of fun, and it was everything that I wanted to see. in
So
episode
what was
one.
the butterfly effect here?
The butterfly effect was that what would happen if Yondu would have outsourced picking up Steve Quill
Instead of himself.
Peter Quill.
Yeah.
Peter Quill.
Yeah. What about if he would have sent what was it? If he would have sent his goons.
If you would have said Taser face.
Yeah, if you would have said Taserface and them to go pick up Peter instead of Yondu, because
Yeah.
Yondu knew exactly where he was and which kid it was.
Yeah.
Whereas
I did like how
didn't
they
know.
explained why they picked up T'Challa.
Yeah, because it's like, oh yeah, like there's so much like radiation and like
Yeah.
space
Coming from
rock
that area.
from that area. If he wasn't him, there's something totally crazy about that area. And then like even T'Challa goes like, oh yeah, there's a giant meteor that landed in my
A
area.
giant meteor of
Yeah.
vibranium.
Yeah,
that we're based
vibranium. That's
on.
just that's just like underneath that area.
So I'm gonna say this because I don't want one of you guys to take my thought away from it. Okay, I want to
I want-
express my
I
thought.
want the
first.
credit for
I
my
want the
thought.
credit for this thought. Okay, because I don't want to say like, oh yeah, I totally agree.
I'm just gonna let you guys know
I
we talk about
love.
this
Shut
before
your
we
mouth,
podcast,
Nick. Shut
so we
your
share
mouth.
each other's
I am
thoughts.
going to.
So if
I'm
whatever
talking here.
whatever his thoughts are, we've probably expressed them, and he's just stealing them.
No,
now.
I didn't express this thought. It's 100% an original idea that I thought of myself
Okay,
while
say it.
watching this. Okay, can I say it now? Thanks,
No
Nick.
one's
Shut your
stopping
mouth. So for me, the reason I love this episode so much is because T'Challa had one of the best defining characteristics in this episode that carried from the MCU timeline into this. And that is T'Challa brings a massive effect on people that I don't think we knew or we saw a lot in the MCU. He is able to change people for the better,
right,
as a person, because Yondu went from a Ravager to someone that now saves the galaxy for the good. Thanos, which I freaking loved, went from the Mad Titan to like a softie, and they
said that it was an argument. It was an argument.
Yes,
that's how he stopped him.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, like I don't want to. To me, the line that kept making the line that kept making me laugh was Thanos trying to justify.
Oh yeah,
it sounds like genocide.
It's not, because it's random. And I'm just like, yes, I think we've all had that argument.
Again, and it goes back to
genocide
Nick,
because genocide specifically says these people. But
again, what makes it better is what Nick said too, is that it was Josh Brolin coming back to do Thanos.
Yes. Yeah. So you had all these different things, and every character, even Nebula, every character that he's been in contact with, they've changed. And if you look back at the MCU, T'Challa has that kind of like presence to him.
But that was the thing, though, is that I did not like about the first episode, because I know a lot of people are raving about that first episode, but it's really bad that in Peggy for Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
This you basically were going, well, Peggy Carter is ignored by men and her story is never told, and all these other things. And what do you do in the episode? You rush her story, don't elaborate, and you copy and paste. You really shortchange her story.
Yeah.
And
there wasn't big differences between her story and Steve's story.
Yeah, like you're basically saying the big difference is that she's female and and Steve would have been an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like they would have gotten the big difference was they got the Tesseract earlier. That's kind of the big difference.
Again, you said, I think we all agreed, and you were a big supporter of this, Rene, was like, oh, what if Steve was the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
That was a missed opportunity.
That really was.
That episode, again, no offense to Captain Carter. I think that she's a phenomenal character. Again, just because we don't like the episode does not mean we don't like Captain Carter.
No,
she's a great character.
I actually
it's just you played it safe.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't like what I was saying they did on in the last episode of last issue. What I said I wanted them to do was exactly what they did for episode 2, where it was an episode, they had the small changes, and then they ran with it, and then it rippled into this, and then it rippled into these other things because
Marvel
it wasn't
decided to play life, and they
that's the
college
thing. But that's what If is. What If the series as a comic book shows us these small decisions,
and then it ripples,
and how it changes the whole universe.
You've worked at a comic book store for years.
Yes.
So how many times have you seen the what ifs from Marvel?
And
so for me, the way I see it as a reader, as a consumer, the what ifs that are successful are the ones that take the biggest risks, not the ones that are just playing it safe. And Captain Carter played it safe. Copy paste all of these different things and put a female Captain America on there. No offense, again, Captain Carter's really great, but the story was stupid. The reason this episode was so much better is because we placed a character that we're all familiar with, and they made a massive change to it.
Right.
All of a sudden, it is not Peter Quill, it's T'Challa as Star-Lord. All these characters have a flip of change and whatnot, and you have this story that almost, like, there were several points in this episode where I was like, hold up. I'm very confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. You're making me question your story. And when you do that, you're taking a risk.
For
T'Challa, for Star-Lord.
What were you confused about?
The beginning, like why it was that like how did characters change all of a sudden? Why did, Yondu go from a Ravager to doing well in the galaxy? The Thanos reveal was a very weird one. Like, I'm like, okay, how did this guy go from, wanting to destroy half the universe to essentially saving it?
Yeah.
Like, how did he go about all these different things? How did he
technically become a guardian of the galaxy?
Exactly.
Because
it's a huge risk to do that because you're so familiar with these characters, and this episode did a phenomenal job in, working with that risk, and it paid off.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am super excited to see Agent Carter later, because she's supposed to be in 3 more episodes.
So is
after
T'Challa.
this.
Yeah.
And so is T'Challa. They're both. which
So I think this confirms that this is a shared universe. Each
yes,
episode.
I feel like
Yeah.
this version of T'Challa will eventually meet Captain Carter.
Yeah.
And I think because and then that also brings back Ultron.
Yes.
Because
There's an episode with Ultron.
There's
right?
an episode of Ultron.
Basically, it's if Ultron obtained Vision's body.
Yes. What would have happened if Ultron would have obtained Vision's body? Not only that, but also what would have happened if the Avengers were like completely different. If you had Captain Carter as as this, what was it? Star-Lord is reintroduced because now he's working in tangent with Earth. For Wakanda.
Ego.
Well,
Ego. Is it Ego?
Well, no, with Earth because now he went back to Wakanda. So
Oh,
he
that's
has,
right. Oh, yeah.
and everything like that at the very end. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, what happens when we have like these aliens like Thanos and everything like that, and they're involved inside of like these Ultron like things. Like what happens when we have a Mad Titan fighting a giant kill robot?
Yeah, and I think Gamora in the next episode is supposed to be Gamora as the next villain. Like
As
she takes
as
the
Mad
place
Titan.
as the
I
Mad
saw
Titan.
I saw the ad for that. It's
Wait,
pretty
Gamora?
dope.
Gamora, yeah.
In the ad for Disney Plus, when you see the giant photo of everything, you'll see Captain Carter
She's
and
dressed
T'Challa.
up as the Mad Titan.
She's got the 2 swords.
yeah.
So she might be the Thanos character in this one.
That's kind of interesting though.
No,
I
that's
like
it's
that.
a cool little ripple.
But that's
another
what
thing.
what ifs are supposed to be. They're
Yeah.
not like no one's gonna pick up a comic book for what if it's playing it safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not gonna pick up a what if. I don't care
Yeah.
if it's not canon and it's not a main story. Why would I spend my $4 or $5 on it?
But it made sense. It made sense where it was going because also it does make sense of Gamora kind of coming up with the Collector being defeated
Yes,
and being killed.
which I like.
'Cause-
I like that the Collector became the next like
Well, 'cause
galaxy bad guy.
Well, it made sense if
Yeah.
because the Collector isn't exactly a good guy.
No.
And I think even Benicio del Toro said he goes, the way I was in picturing the Collector when I did my role was I thought of him as Noah.
Did he play?
He did.
Okay,
he
he was
came
in this
back
one
as the
as well.
voice. Yeah, but the way he thought of him is Noah. Is I'm collecting the Collector is collecting all of these races and these valuables and all these things, so that way when there's a calamity or like a world ending, like a galaxy ending thing, that we can then repopulate and everything like that. So that's how he kind of saw himself as as like this Noah-esque figure. And I liked the idea of, if you really think about it, like what happens when he basically was given 2 Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Like at the end of he was given the Guardians, so he has 2 Infinity Stones right off the bat. So what do we do? Like what do we do with all this and everything else? And I think that was kind of interesting. I liked Benicio del Toro was just like jacked, just like jacked Collector.
Yeah.
because
It's dope. Oh, did you see the artifacts that he had, like Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield?
He had all
and-
all the
and
Avengers.
it's interesting though, because technically if you were to go into like the timeline, it's supposed to be 2008 when this is happening.
Yeah.
During the events of this. So Captain Rogers hasn't been released from the ice. Thor, I don't know what happened to Thor, that he lost his hammer. Hela is still banished.
Yeah, because something's supposed to happen with Thor in the next.
So
With what
so-
if?
Yeah. So my
At least
question
there's
is
real
that,
small Easter eggs.
yeah, unless they're really small Easter eggs and stuff like that, but it kind of sounds like he went hunting for this stuff. Like he went like hunting. So I think that would be really interesting. Of like, okay, so what about if he can dimension hop,
That'd be interesting.
and that's how he stole it all?
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap up this topic again,
Because
we're running out of
Yeah.
time in a bit, but as I think, because you're a DC guy, you're the Marvel guy,
right.
you know, Rene. I want to know your thoughts on this and see
On What If?
On What If, because you came out strong and said you love this episode.
I really did.
So-
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
Do you have high hopes for this?
I do. Moving forward now with this episode out, I was a little bit skeptic, I should say, of them saying basically it's a shared universe, because I was more excited for like just like kind of like one shots,
Just tiny stories.
just tiny stories.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, those episodes, to be it like that, it would have to be longer.
Okay.
Those episodes, they would have to be at least over a 30-minute mark to a
It's-
40-minute mark.
I-
Honestly,
100% agree.
I wouldn't have been. I would have loved an hour and a half episode of a What If, because I think those would have been so sick.
yeah.
Yeah, but you said animation's expensive.
It is.
It is.
No,
Yeah.
it's super expensive. Don't get me wrong, but also, how sick would that have been?
It would have been really cool just to see just like everything play out from like now until like they show us like almost to like the events of like Endgame in a way. Where would these characters be? Yeah.
They would have tried to catch us up to where exactly it is. That would have been really sick.
Because I would have loved, because I think we said it too, is that for the last episode, it would have been better if longer, and they would have showed us more.
If it wasn't,
they would have
so
had
rushed.
more ideas.
Yeah.
To do with Captain Carter. This one was perfect because they showed us everything in a quick little time, but at the same time, I'm pretty interested now that they're gonna basically show us, okay, no, this is just one universe.
So to kind of like wrap up my thoughts here, what if is their opportunity to take some of the biggest risks possible? And I don't think Marvel should be scared. Because, I mean, yeah, granted, if an episode doesn't do well, they probably lose attention from the audiences and stuff like that. But I don't think it's a big risk. Not like something like, let's say, if they tried something new in like a mainline movie and they're afraid to lose money. What if should be Marvel's attempt at rolling the dice? Get your characters and, take some big risks like you did here. And if it works out, it works out. Yeah. I'm excited for the zombies because zombies has always been like a weird kind of like
subgenre.
Yeah.
We didn't know like if that was going to be like the whole world like zombies, because they never told us what that episode specifically was. And then they showed it in the marketing or like in the episode list. So it says, what if the Avengers became zombies?
Exactly. So now it's not within that same universe.
It's interesting because inside of the trailer, you also see Janet Van Dyne as a zombie inside the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And we see Bucky as well, too.
Because I think it would have been... Because what about if when she went to the quantum realm, she was infected by something and that's what made her zombified?
That would have been interesting.
And Hank Pym pulled her back and she infected a bunch of other people.
So...
And like it was one of those things of like, oh, Hank Pym went to go save his wife. He didn't care what, state she was in. He went to go save her. And after he saved her, he basically ended the world or anything like that. That would have been kind of interesting.
So this goes into this next topic because now we're running into a bunch of speculation because the more we talk about what if, the more these rumors start to make sense. And we're going to do a tiny little update on a couple of rumors because I feel like at this point we've been discussing it every issue, but that's only because more and more information comes out.
Every week something comes out.
Something comes out. We talk about it and then Feige decides to open his mouth in some interview and go like, oh, well, actually.
I mean, the funny thing is that I think the other night, me and you were playing we were literally playing Call of Duty. We were literally playing Call of Duty.
This is 2 nights ago.
This is like 2 nights ago. We're playing Call of Duty. It's like 1:00 in the morning, and I'm like, oh man, I think we should let's play like one more, and then we'll go to bed.
I'll just end it here.
And let's just end it here. And then all of a sudden, we're in the middle of a game, and all I hear is him over comms just go, "Dude, a new Eternals trailer just dropped."
You're softening my reaction. I remember because I was
there was a lot of F words.
Yeah, I was like, what the F, what? It's 1 a.m, Marvel.
Yeah, he's like, why 1 a.m?
I bet you someone was like, okay, this person's gonna schedule uploading the trailer.
You think they messed up?
I think someone messed. Obviously, someone.
Honestly,
messed
you know what I think? Happened?
Yeah.
When they were putting it on YouTube,
or it got uploaded too quickly.
No. When they were putting it up on YouTube, I think somebody made a mistake and they didn't flip the AM to the PM because 1 p.m. makes sense.
That does.
The trailer came out at 12 a.m. So not 1 because I shared it at 1 a.m.
That's
but
true.
it was an hour, so it was at 12 a.m.
But,
so regardless of
but
it,
even noon,
even then,
noon
that
makes
makes
sense.
Yeah.
So I think they gave it to an intern. I think that the intern,
Marvel's interns, man. Come on.
But because that's what you do to get those grunt works is that literally.
But you're gonna get grunt results.
No. But I do feel that it was like they gave it to their marketing
department.
Someone
double clicked it too fast.
Somebody was putting it up. They double clicked too fast,
dang it.
and then I honestly think that somebody mistook midnight and noon. And posted it, and then literally went up because literally everybody I've heard, like any YouTuber or anything like that, literally goes 12, midnight. Like why? Like no one was awake. Like that would mean that it's up for 12 hours.
I want to do Kevin Feige's reaction. Watch, he's like this, laying in bed. And then next thing you know, his phone's like right here, and it's going off. It's going off, and he's like, "What the heck? What?" What happened? He's texting. He's emailing.
I don't know who, but someone's getting fired.
calls like I don't know, like an executive. Yeah, it's up. 12. I know.
I said 12 noon.
I said
not
noon.
midnight.
He's like,
So
Dude, that would be hilarious. if
no, we
literally-
can't take it down. It's gotten over 800,000 views already.
I thought it would have been
1 million already.
I thought it would have been so funny if he literally, if like somebody wrote it on a post-it and they just wrote 12,
That's it.
and then they handed it to an intern, and the intern's like,
Do
Do you not know military time?
yeah, and he's like, oh, well, I mean,
He's all,
midnight. I mean, midnight would be kind of sick. All right,
Can
midnight.
we do a TikTok like that? I swear.
how we do? Okay, we'll
Yeah,
find
we-
out.
we'll
actually,
work
we
it
can
out.
shoot the video.
We can
shoot the video.
shoot the video. It's,
That's,
okay, but that's besides the point.
All right.
All right.
That's
So,
besides the
anyways,
point.
Eternals trailer, fun, great. That's
It-
not the
it was
rumors
good.
that we're talking about.
Well,
good.
I think besides,
I will say that I'm not excited for Eternals overall.
it's
though.
not a popular. But here's the thing: people that said they were excited for Guardians are people that probably never read Guardians and were like, "Oh, the music's fun and whatever." Eternals is the same way. I feel like no one knows so much about
Eternals
Eternals.
doesn't have a soundtrack.
Yeah, I
like the
know, but
cast.
Or
Eternals,
James Gunn.
But again,
No, I like the cast though.
but the cast, yeah, the cast is great. But I think that's the only thing you should be excited for because Eternals is going to.
I like Kit Harington as Black Knight.
Salma Hayek
Dude,
is in there.
I want Kit Harington.
How dare you?
I like her, but she's in a Marvel movie in characters I don't care about.
First off, Salma Hayek is on his list.
What's the list of that?
You
Don't
know
worry
what
about
The
it.
never gonna happen list? Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
You'll never meet her list? Yes.
Hey,
Crushing your dreams.
Listen, we make dreams here. We don't crush them.
so we're
all
running
they'll
short
ever
on
be,
time.
guys.
We're running short on time.
Go.
So
Just a
this is
dream.
the rumor is there's been a bunch of rumors regarding the Spider-Man. We talked about that in issue, was it 59? No, 60 or 59?
Either
60.
60 or 59.
Yeah.
60. And so Kevin
60,
Feige,
please.
literally we posted that issue up on Wednesday, and then Feige decides to have an interview on like Thursday. I think it was with like comicbook.com or some other site. But anyways, he was saying that at some point there's going to be a trailer. We don't know when,
But it's before the movie.
but it's before the movie.
It's gonna be the day before.
It might be during the
Honestly?
Shang-Chi. It might be during Shang-Chi's release. Maybe
That could happen.
But
I would love it. I would
but-
love that. Yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Build
take
the hype for it.
I'm gonna take that rumor, and I'm gonna. There you go. That's it. No, honestly, because the only reason I don't care for that rumor is because we're just speculating at this point. If there's a trailer, great. If there's not, cool. I don't care. You're gonna report on that? Good. Clickbait for you. I don't care. The biggest thing for me that came out of that interview was Feige saying that Sony has been in charge of marketing for that movie. And the only reason I say that's important is because the way this has been marketed has been weird. We've been getting
rough.
It's been rough. The cast, no more cast interviews because of all the leaks that have been coming out. All the toys that have been released that have been showing off the costume and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, the cast have been literally like banned off Twitter.
Exactly.
They have not posted a lot of things.
So
on it.
I haven't heard anything
So
from
I have-
Tom Holland
Well,
at all.
not only them, but also like even stunt doubles. Like
Yeah.
stunt doubles started
Oh,
getting
yeah.
in trouble because they were retweeting to other people's stunt doubles, going like, "Oh yeah, hey man, like this," and then everybody was like, "Well, why is he retweeting Andrew Garfield's stunt double? Like what? Why were they on set together and everything like that?" And then like everybody's just like, "All right, everybody needs to like shut up and just stop posting stuff."
So I have a feeling that Feige said that to basically explain why the marketing has been
been so
very
weird.
dumb
Yeah.
and very weird because Marvel are marketing geniuses. All of Phase 1, all of Phase 2, and all of Phase 3 have been 95%.
Well, they got that
you know,
Disney money. They got that
They do.
Disney money.
They're smart about it. They're not
Yeah.
stupid. But this has been very stupid. It's been very dumb mistakes,
been
right?
very sloppy.
And Marvel, I feel, has basically have to come, or they basically went into Sony's headquarters of marketing or whatnot. And
Yeah,
said,
right. He's like,
hey, what's going on? Hey, the toy leaks? No, get that out of there.
I feel-
they've
I-
been like.
I feel like
hard-pressed
it's
on
I feel like it's because they don't have a Barry.
Barry.
Yeah, you know who Barry is? Barry is the security guard that's on every single Marvel movie that keeps people from leaking stuff. I'm being serious. What was it? Have you ever seen that? What was it? It's the one where it's an interview with oh my god, who plays the Hulk again? I can't
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo and Oh my god.
Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle.
Oh, the one for Infinity War.
The one for Infinity War,
Yeah.
and then he accidentally...
They're at D23.
Yeah, they're at D23, and he accidentally leaks, and then he literally says, "Do you think Barry is going to be mad at me?"
Yeah.
And the reason being is because Barry is the guy that like literally goes like, "Stop, like, hey, like
Stop.
you posted this, turn it off."
Yeah.
And everything like that, and
Hey,
everything else.
you were live streaming while Thor Ragnarok was premiering.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
turn off your goddamn phone. Like,
So, but that's the biggest line for me.
That
in
one was
interview.
Marvel's fault.
Yeah.
That because you don't.
That's
give
why
a-
it's 95% clean.
You don't
This
get-
has
you
not
don't
been
give-
95% clean.
Yeah, because that one was don't tell a 45-year-old man to do
a live stream.
a live stream.
You
Sony-
did not
and then
turn it
thi-
off. Yeah.
and then think he knows how to turn it off. Like that's your fault. Like I'm pretty sure somebody was like, "It would be really cool if he did this."
I
And that
need
was
you to
it.
come on this side real quick.
Why?
The
Would you
computer
do
locked.
something?
The computer locked.
no, it's
No, it's the thing.
name. It's the name of the shop.
Oh.
Why would you say that on the show?
I'll just.
Somebody's gonna come in here.
Someone's gonna come in here after hours and just like,
Got it. Okay, never mind. I lost the screen. I was like,
And then
freaking out,
just
but it's all good.
penises.
No, but this makes
Boba
sense.
Fett
So
penises.
I don't care. Like, here's the thing. I've seen, and I showed you the TikToker, right? That basically was like trying to report this. I
Yeah.
feel like if anyone tries to report this, like, oh, at some point Marvel's gonna drop a Spider-Man trailer,
no-
I'm just gonna. Thank you. No duh. No duh. Like, are you dumb? Can you expand on this? Can you report on it a
Yeah,
little bit more?
because at
Bring
that point
in
you're
your
just
own
saying that-
personality
Yeah.
here. That's what we try to do. That's why you guys should listen to us. Okay? Don't listen to them. They're just dumb.
Here-
They're indictment of normie
I
culture.
hate you so much. I'm gonna quit after this.
Same here.
I swear to God, it's just gonna be Bryan by himself next week, and he's just gonna be like, and he's gonna have a black eye.
this is like an indictment in normie culture. It's just gonna-
And he's like, as Rene and Nick were beating me to an inch of my life, they kept saying this is an indictment of normie culture.
Hey, look, I'm just saying that line so that if they do decide to listen to this podcast, we can find them. You said you're willing to fight them, so I'm going to join you on that fight.
I'm gonna fight him naked.
You're gonna be like, oh, you ready? Whoa, what's he doing? Whoa, hey! You're just
Cause you know why?
That is a legitimate tactic. If you approach someone butt ass naked, they won't know what to do.
And you're
because
so
it's like,
confident.
"Whoa!"
I'm just like, you want to go? You want to go? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know, because you know why?
you start
'Cause-
slapping parts of your
yeah,
body. Come on! Let's do it. Come on!
We'll fight him naked. We'll fight him
Go,
naked.
throw down. Hot.
Why is he?
What are you going to do?
It's that scene from the interview.
Start slapping your nuts. Come on! Come on! I can take it!
the-
See this?
No, you've seen that. You've seen the interview,
Speed
right?
bag, you start.
Just come on, Bryan. Come on. Just do it. Just do it.
Hit me, Bryan. What? Hit me!
Just everybody looking at me. Well, why aren't you guys naked? You're the weird ones.
I was keeping up with the nerds for you.
I know.
We're not the indictment
Now
of
you
normie
know how we
culture.
fight, guys.
Yeah, I fight naked. Because you know why? Because you're more worried about you're more worried about a penis on you than you are about dodging my hits. It's gonna be that Seth Rogen scene inside of the interview where he's just like, "You want to see it? You want to see it? Well, there it is. You like it?" So it just flops.
Oh my god. What were we talking about again?
I
don't even remember.
About fighting people.
The Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah,
Point
but fighting
being, I
Spider-Man.
think the biggest point to take away from that interview is that they said that Sony has been the one in charge of marketing. Point done. That's probably why it's so poor. If the trailer comes out, great. If it doesn't, cool. I mean, they can go
There's like
suck
an
it.
intern
I
holding
don't
the
care.
button. Like, do we do it now?
Whoever's releasing the trailer, make sure it's 12 p.m. and not a.m.
No, but that's the easiest explanation. That's the easiest explanation I can come up with.
Yeah.
Is of like, how did you mess up midnight? Because literally no one's awake. Like no one's like every single podcast
I wanna
or like
see
YouTuber
that-
I've seen.
That person
has
so
literally
confident.
been, like done.
Getting it ready. All right. Yeah.
You put PM, right?
You know what? I've had that. I know we're a small podcast, so that's fine. But I've had that mistake happen to me before because remember when we were first starting the first couple of issues, I didn't realize that Podbean had set itself to Central Time and not Pacific Time.
That happened,
so all
You
issues
put
were being
things up for
released
3 hours later.
Yes. So it was all coming out instead of it being 11:30, it was coming out at like 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, why is it coming out so early? And then I realized it wasn't Pacific Time. I did that with
You're an
YouTube.
idiot. That's why.
Yeah, I was dumb. I didn't know how that worked. And then I did that with like 2 issues ago where it released early on Podbean again, like 2 hours early, and that was because I didn't read the time correctly. So it's happened, but for a big franchise like Marvel, no, good luck, buddy. Good luck to you.
I mean, no, but honestly, I mean, it's understandable. It's something that happens. You know, it's human error. It's not like you just put it up and then YouTube knows. Okay, put this time. It's human error. Human error leads to that. But honestly, I just think that's hilarious. Of just thinking of an intern, just
As a
like
Sony intern confirmed.
like a Sony intern, just like. And I love the idea of just like him looking down, seeing like just 12, and he's like,
All right, so I don't have to worry about this. Is gonna end.
No, I just think it would be so funny if like they were doing it last minute. They're doing it at like 11 o'clock, and he's just like, all right, cool. All right, okay, cool. And then like
How long would that take to render? It's a 4-minute.
It's not the rendering process; it's that they have to upload it.
Yeah,
how long
the
would that
upload.
take, though, to upload? Like from
So
the
it
moment
did-
you
I
click
mean,
it.
our hour thing takes about an hour and a half.
That 2 minute.
It's a 4K video, isn't it?
Is it for? I think it was
Yeah.
only.
They have
It
to
was.
be.
It
It's
doesn't. I don't
Marvel's
think so.
video.
No,
Can you
yeah,
get yourself closer to the mic, please?
It is a 4K video.
It's a 4K video.
Oh, then
because
it probably
it's
if it's a
Marvel.
3-4 minute video
Yeah.
and the internet, it's Marvel. You really
No,
think
I-
they're going to be running like 100 megabit upload speed?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It's
no,
no, I'm
they
pretty
probably
sure-
got like gigabit internet.
No, honestly, I think whatever marketing company was there, they probably had it probably took them like 20 minutes.
A 20-minute upload.
Like a
to
20
get
minute
to
upload,
the-
to put it up and everything like that. I mean, because you can't edit any of the settings until it's fully uploaded anyway.
Oh, that's true.
Exactly.
So I mean, once you're done, it's kind of like, okay, cool. And if
Well,
you
I'm
didn't double check your stuff, then you just posted it up.
Yeah.
And everything else, I just think it's hilarious that somebody like literally posted it up, like put it on at like 11:40, and they're like, all right, cool, that's done. And then like 20 minutes
We're
later,
making this video. We're going to make this
like
video.
20 minutes later, it just vibrates and it's like, oh damn it.
So before we
Kevin
wrap,
Feige calling you.
Just like, oh, what time did you set it at? I swear to God, it said
I read
AM.
12 p.m.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the P looked like the A. Okay.
No, and then it's like,
You
oh,
wrote it really fast.
it's like, oh,
What
well,
was
listen.
I supposed to say? It said 12. You meant 12 a.m. or p.m. We work on a 24-hour clock. If it was 12 a.m., it'd be 0000. If it's 12, it's yeah. For the longest time, I've actually all my times are 24-hour.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Why?
because I used to work at Disney and they're a 24-hour company.
Yeah, that's
Is it
his,
really?
That's
Yeah.
his excuse.
No, yeah, legitimately, I had to learn 24-hour.
Why are you late all the time then?
Before we wrap this issue up, I got a little quick topic.
Yeah, I just started telling you like.
Before we wrap this issue up,
I just started saying we have to meet at.
I'm cutting you off. I'm just kidding. I put your mic back, guys.
All right, thank you.
Before we wrap this issue up, I got a quick little. I want a 30-second opinion on this before we wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay. Star Wars
That's my
Visions. Are we
opinion.
excited?
What's up,
Star Wars Visions. Are we excited for
Dude,
it?
I
Hell
still
yeah.
haven't watched the
All right, you
trailer.
weebs.
dude? You still haven't watched the
Weeb.
trailer?
I haven't watched the trailer.
Dude, that trailer is sick.
Nah,
I gotta
it's
watch
dumb.
it.
Dude,
I'll say what I feel
it's
about it next
dumb.
week. Then.
Dude, it literally looks like
I can
Kill
smell
a Kill.
the weeb.
It looks like what?
It looks
smells
like,
like weed.
it looks like Kill a Kill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like that mixed in with like just like Afro Samurai.
I thought it was
aspects.
like a Love and Robots kind of thing. I thought
It's a
It is.
reinterpretation of
No,
Star
but,
Wars.
But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a Love and Robots type of thing where like their animation. It's different eras of like Japanese anime.
Yeah.
It looks.
You have to admit it looks
Hang
sick.
on, shut up. Let me
It
get
looks sick.
let me get out of my character.
You-
Can you shut your mouth?
No. On my contract, it said never shut mouth,
It looks sick.
even after hours.
I'm talking. It looks sick. Like it legitimately. Like okay, I hate it. I don't. It's dumb, but I'll watch it,
Dumb.
and I'm probably gonna enjoy it.
I'm
I
gonna
just
love
think it's
it,
dumb.
but I'm not a weep.
But I'm not a weeb.
Dude, hold on. If anything could make Star Wars lightsaber battles cooler,
Yeah.
it's anime.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
that's
the-
true.
So
Like,
I will
that's
say,
true.
you know what?
I
I'm going to say
totally
this. I'm going to say
behind
this
that.
to the people on Twitter who constantly like
You
to
need
the
to get
people
off
on
Twitter,
Twitter.
man.
I do, because Twitter is just sometimes the people on Twitter they overhype something and they just like they force the love into it, even though it's dumb. Shut up, let it come out, and then give your opinion on it. It looks sick. The trailer looks
I love
freaking
it.
fantastic.
Actually, have you seen the?
But I saw a tweet. Hang on. I saw a tweet that said, I don't care if I haven't seen Star Wars Vision. It's going to be the sickest Star Wars property yet. And I'm like, you haven't seen it. How do you know? Because it's anime? So you're just going to like drool all over because it's anime? You weeb.
Here's my thing, though.
Disgusting.
Is that because I love the Star Wars animation.
Yes.
And that's because they without like having to do like special effects or miniatures or anything like that, they can just expand the world. And like Star Wars does really well as an anime, as an animation.
Yeah.
It does super well because because honestly, I think if you were to animate and also just do it live action, it's kind of the same price.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I think
no matter what.
the sickest scene for me, because I feel like people are overhyping this and saying that the Stormtrooper scene is probably the sickest scene in the trailer.
You
For
gotta
me,
see it. Yeah, we'll watch it after. We'll
Yeah,
watch it
Okay.
after.
For me, the sickest scene is when they unsheath the lightsaber like a samurai or like a
Oh, yeah,
katana.
he's like
and I was like,
And then it's like this.
I don't care.
So
I
cool.
want that. I want that saber.
Yeah,
I'm getting the dark saber in November. I want the katana lightsaber.
the katana.
That's dope.
Well, here was the other thing though, is that like there's a lot of like fast move. You know what it looked like? It looked like a like 90. It looked like if you put My Hero Academia in like a
gonna say.
90s anime,
Oh,
like a 90s
yeah.
anime kind of like style.
If it was like Cowboy Bebop action
Yeah,
with My
like
Hero.
like think about My Hero Academia with like Cowboy Bebop animation,
That'd be cool.
and it's in the Star Wars universe.
And the space fights look like they would in Gundam if Gundam,
Yes.
yeah, in like modern Gundam fights.
yeah, in like in like a Gundam fight.
But I'm not a weeb,
and
so I
stuff
wouldn't
like
know.
that. So that's why I was saying, because what it looked like is they because the reason why I love it so much is because they literally went to Japan and they got
It's like
Japanese
7 different animation
It's like
studios.
7 different Japanese animation studios, big animation studios that have come up with that have done like Attack on Titan and like all these like different like genius animes,
Yeah.
and they then went make a Star Wars story, and it will take place in your own isolated little area of the galaxy because the
Yeah, it's
galaxy
like
is
it's
vast.
a huge. Yeah, it's a
The
huge.
galaxy's
thing.
vast. It takes place on your own little isolated world. It does not need
That sounds like super fun.
Yeah,
like just
like,
creatively, that
we
sounds
do.
amazing.
We do
to
not need it to have anything that has to do with the Skywalkers, the Empire. It's literally just like a blank slate.
Those are
and
stories
go,
we need.
So
honestly.
here,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So here's what I want to happen. Get Star Wars Visions out there because I will watch the hell out of that.
Oh, dude, I'm
it looks
gonna watch it a couple
awesome.
times.
It looks great. Okay, but I want if Disney wants to do it, they have to go back if they want a season 2, which they most likely are because
dude, they're gonna do
these weebs are going to be forcing it out of their hand.
Yeah, you,
No, not me.
dude, you're gonna.
I'm not. I want it to be
gonna-
over and done with. I hate
he's
this.
gonna
No, we
do
already established. I hate
the
this. I'm
banana
not
cream
gonna
sandwich
I'm,
himself.
No, I'm. I hate this.
the
I'm not a
things
weeb.
that- the things
Shut
that you're
your
gonna
mouth.
do. The
Not a
things.
weeb. Not a weeb. Anyways, Disney, if they want a season 2, the best way to do this is to go back to the animation studios that did this and say, if you want to continue your story, do it. If not, back out. Because if these stories are phenomenal, great. Make them one-offs. If they're reimagining the Star Wars story, make them one-offs and that's it. Do not ruin this awesome opportunity. It's fantastic.
I want to be introduced to new characters, new villains, new worlds, new aliens,
New interpretations of
new
it. Give me
interpretations.
lightsaber katana.
But no, but the thing is that I would also like to, because the galaxy
Give
is so
me
vast.
General Grievous, but with 4 katanas coming out like.
No, but the galaxy is so vast that they always say like, oh yeah, like the galaxy has like this one isolated like
Yeah.
General
Jedi order.
Grievous as like an old samurai turned
Well,
evil.
Well, no, because I don't even want General
Yes.
Grievous. I don't even want General Grievous.
I want General Grievous.
No,
really
I don't
care
want
for
General
him.
Grievous.
I want General Grievous.
Here's what I want. I want a Ronin. I just want a Ronin Jedi. I want just like a Jedi who is going from like town to town
With a white
or planet,
lightsaber.
planet to planet. I wouldn't mind if it's like a junk saber. Like he taught himself.
Yeah.
Like he taught himself the Force. He's been like,
It's like a gray Jedi. You know?
yeah, like kind of like and you can even establish gray
Gray
Jedis
Jedis.
that
They're
way.
not established in.
Yeah, they're not established
in,
at
like,
all.
comics and stuff like
and I think that would be so sick.
All right, let's not hype ourselves because if this ends up being a disappointment, we're gonna be
It's
pretty
not.
sad.
No,
It's
the
not.
only person they'll be disappointed. It's you, Brian, because you do that to yourself.
Yeah, and
No, I'm not. Like, no, I'm
because
excited for this. I want this to succeed, but
No,
I'm also
that's
not
why
a
you'll
weak.
get-
because
you'll get
honestly, I
disappointed.
I think even like a Ronin or like a Afro Samurai type esque, or even like a Hidden Fortress,
Yeah.
like
I think-
like kind of episode. I think all like you can just take it to Kurosawa films and like just take it back to its origins and have fun with it.
It's safe to say that we're excited for the potential for this
Yes.
series.
Absolutely,
But I'm not a weeb.
But like honestly, dude,
Irrelevant, but okay.
dude, the visuals of the trailer look amazing.
I gotta check it. I'll check it out.
We'll check it out after this.
Yeah. Also, we didn't get we haven't talked about Bad Batch like forever.
We don't need
And
to. Anyways, let's wrap
I
up this
hate you
episode.
so much.
We're wrapping up
We
this
never
issue.
talk about things I want to talk about.
We always
That's
talk about
true.
things you
I'm
want to talk
sorry.
about.
always
okay?
about
You talk
Spider-Man.
most here.
Always Spider-Man.
It's always about Spider-Man.
Oh my God, cry me a river.
I am.
I turned off his mic. I'm kidding. I'm gonna put you back on. God,
Damn
stop
right.
being crying.
Yeah, damn right.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Anyways.
you listen to me. That's right.
Oh God. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 61. Don't forget that we do have a website, keepingupwiththenerds.com, where you get all the up-to-date information on all the issues that are being released and videos that will be coming up. By the time this issue comes up, there will be a new video on YouTube. If you have not checked it out, go for it. It's a small, short skit. I think that's the direction we're headed towards right now because
more
we're a little bit
short
busy.
skits.
Yeah, more short skits than anything because one, it's easy to edit. Two, with the amount of work that we're all getting into with our jobs, it's the only thing that we can really do. As far as like promotional material, you know what? I'm really considering probably at this point starting some sort of like funding or something like that because we're getting into high production stuff. Like, granted, we're amateurs at it, but
No, but we're exploring that now.
we're exploring that now, and it's going to get pretty expensive. So it's up in the air, but we're still deciding it. We're still talking about it. We're going to be reformatting the entire website. We're in the building process of that. So,
Yeah.
you know, just give us time with that. Follow us on our socials, Instagram and Twitter, for all the up-to-date information on when the issues come out. Rene does a great job. Thank you again. And Nick, thank you for being our marketing manager because you have been helping us with analytics. We've been growing on our
definitely.
audio platform. So,
Ever since Nick has hopped on,
yes, sir.
our brand is getting out there more and more.
Yes. So keep an eye out, guys. If you guys are in the Uptown area, we'll be posting some more ads around the area as well. So, yes. And, yeah, I think with that said, are you ready to wrap the show up?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Coming to you from 192.
Was that
Sorry,
the wrong one?
That was the wrong one.
Oh.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Woody, California, in the heart of Uptown. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 61. I'm
Your host,
That's the
Rene.
wrong
That's
one.
the wrong one,
it says
dude.
Outro.
No,
No.
dude, that's the beginning. It's
Oh,
at the
God.
very underneath it is
This
the
has
outro.
been. Oh yeah, this has been okay. I
Hey, I'm not the only one.
No, you're
not
not.
the only one. Not the only one.
all right, fine.
Take 3 and action.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 61. My name is Rene.
Can we get more
My name's there.
I'm not going to say it.
We're recording at Undercity Comics in Whittier,
And
California.
this guy's
We want to
name's
thank
Bryan.
you guys for listening. This is the issue and hope to see you all next time.
Love it.